Welcome back to the Perfect Portfolio, where we teach average and ordinary people the buy, borrow, die strategy. We teach them the strategy that's used by billionaires for actually goes back to the Great Depression. The term was coined in the 1990s at the University of Southern California to explain how billionaires don't pay taxes. We teach it to anybody of any income. In fact, we even show them how to start with just $100 in a brokerage account. And today we're talking with one of our students, Paul, who went through our live course. And just we asked them, do you want to jump on and tell us a little bit about your experience in the Perfect Portfolio? So, hey, Paul, welcome to our YouTube channel, man. Is this your first time being on a YouTube channel?
Yes, it is, Mark. This is exciting.
Awesome, awesome. So, well, good. Well, anyways, we have students from every background. We have wealthy people in this course. We have people who have never invested. We've had people in just have put money in a retirement account. Just tell us a little bit about yourself, man. We'd love to hear find out who you are.
Right. Like I said, my name is Paul. I kind of grew up in Truckee, California. I started working with my dad in construction at age 13. There wasn't a whole lot of teaching of finances. You live paycheck to paycheck, and that's kind of now I'm in construction. I have a small construction business, and I also dabble in real estate.
Nice, very cool. I used to mix concrete with my dad when I was a teenager, so I did a lot of mixing concrete when I was growing up, and yeah, but so anyways, yeah, definitely construction background. So,
Yeah.
so growing up, you're a construction family. Was there any talk about money? What are the things that you learned about money?
Mark, I didn't learn anything about money. It was we would live basically paycheck to paycheck. You saved if anything you could, and there's always seemed to be some type of emergency where you had to spend it, and just kind of lived up in on the poor side of life.
Yeah, go man. We got so similar backgrounds. It's crazy. Yeah, my parents had never had money. I remember they were so broke. Sometimes they would do what's they wouldn't get a paycheck coming in, so they'd write a check, and then like over the weekend, and then it would clear over there, so it would give them a cash advance. And like the stuff my parents used to do because they just never had any money. Like, and technically that's illegal. It's called check kiting or something like that. But man, they needed money,
Exactly.
right? It's write the check, take a cash advance, but get the money into the bank by Monday, right? We used to do that.
That's right. That's right. Yep.
Those
Yep.
things we do when you don't have any money, right? So,
That's
but
it. Right to the bank on Friday to get that check deposited. So you had a little money.
absolutely,
Yep.
absolutely. So,
Yep.
now before you came across this course, what did you, how did you learn about money? Was it books? Is it courses? How were you trying to learn about money?
So no, Mark, it's funny because in the book it talks about you're the number one on the list and that of your financial IQ, and that's where I was. I had saved some money, through my company into a bank account. My wife had a old 401k that we cashed out and put into an IRA, and just didn't really have any money knowledge. So I had all these little pockets of cash doing absolutely nothing for me.
Yep.
And when I came across your book, from Newsmax. I clicked on it, and was me. I wanted to check it out. I started reading, came across the uh, in the book where perfect portfolio class.
Yep.
Jumped on in, and yeah, that's where it started. Just amazing. The last 2 months have been amazing. There's just so much to tell.
Down the rabbit hole, huh? Down the rabbit
Down the
hole.
rabbit hole.
You can't go
Yeah.
back though, can you?
No, no, not at all. Not at all. And some of the things you say is teaching is the best thing. So I'm trying to teach some of this to my wife. So
Yep.
she, because she's a little bit hesitant on her
Sure.
side. And I just
Yep.
like we're gonna sit down this weekend and check out a 30-minute video on some of the things and say, okay,
No.
she read one bit in your book and it lightened up her eyes. I'm like, this is where it's been for the
Oh.
last 8 weeks.
Wow, very good.
Uh,
Just epiphanies, huh? So
yep.
what specific strategies in the course kind of like went what an aha moment?
Well, I'm in real estate, so that's a
Yep.
great place to start.
Yep.
I and then being in construction, so I've been around real estate my whole life.
Yep.
And I, like a couple of years ago, I opened up a Robinhood account, and I
Okay.
was going to check out some stuff and put a little money in there and check out stocks. And it was just so confusing. It's like this
Right.
is not
Yep.
this is out of my league. It wasn't. I
Yep.
was not interested. And then finding the M1 account with your help setting up some pies and just moving forward, it's amazing how simple it really is,
Right.
especially
Yeah.
with your
Automate it.
guidance. Yes,
Automate your income, right? We own the phrase
that's
automate
right.
your income in the United States. It's true. You do nothing and you make money, right?
Exactly. I love it.
Awesome.
I think there was a statement that said if you're not making money when you're sleeping, you're not making any money.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it doesn't matter how much money you make when you're working and awake. It only matters how much you make when you're sleeping. That's the only number
That's
we care
right.
about, right? So, um, is there any personal story of like you since you came in the course where you're like where you just got really excited? Any personal stories there?
It was it like I said, I always had all these pockets of cash, sitting around, not really doing anything, a little bit of savings here, some business cash, the IRA, and just starting to put these pieces together each week, going through the course. I ended up signing up for the self-paced course at first. I took your
Yep.
survey.
Yep.
It said start here. I
Do the
did
video.
that. I got on one of your live meetings. I said, this is where I got to be. So I
Yep.
updated the course, and so I take the pre-dated course, and I'd watch that, and then I'd watch this one,
Yep.
and it all just started to sink in and hit. We've set up the M1 account. That's going great.
Yep.
I'm working on my first investment deal with the real estate. That's going great. We're working
Wow.
on my life insurance and putting the pillars together, a little
Five pillars.
crypto account. Yep, five
Oh,
pillars. And I
crypto.
haven't
You got
touched
everything
on
going
gold
on.
and precious metals yet.
Wow, we got all five pillars running at the same time. And I know you're in construction.
Yep.
You're in construction and real estate. Did that change the way you looked at real estate? Because real estate are big tax codes. Now that you learn those things, did it change your outlook on what you can do with real estate?
It is just amazing. Because I just purchased my house over here on this side.
Yeah.
I've done 5 purchases in the last 6 years. So this was our one house that we really wanted. So we got it. And
Yeah.
we've always been told put 20% down, don't do the PMI insurance. So we came in with a big down
Oh,
payment,
yeah.
and I was just walking the dogs with my wife yesterday. I said, if I would have known this strategy 2 months ago, I would have taken that money, put it into an M1 account, gone with a less down payment, and that would have paid the house payment. It's just amazing the strategies that you have and what I've learned. Yes, there's been
Absolutely. Yeah.
very many pow moments.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. We put 3% down on the house we're in. I
Yeah,
wish we would have known. We would have done Navy Federal. They do 0% down loans. I would have bought the house with no work, right? I didn't know I could do that. But anyways, so when you came into the course, did you have a target date where you're like, I can retire at this date? Did that even exist in your universe?
did not. Like I said, I've made a little bit of money in the construction side, but I always knew, my son's going to take over the company someday. I'll get wages for a little while,
Yep.
but my wife's 401k is really virtually nothing once I started looking, or the IRA is virtually nothing once I started looking at it. And then once you gave me the 3.3 formula, I'm like, oh wow,
Yeah,
this is really
3.3%.
sad.
Yeah, it's
So
nothing.
I
Yeah.
did not. It was looking pretty bleak at that time. Yes.
Cool. So you literally said question mark, am I going to work till I die? Or like you're like 70, 60, just no idea, huh?
Just no idea.
No
No
idea.
idea.
Okay.
Medicare, none of that stuff. It's just like, okay, I'll just keep, like you said, work until I can.
Okay. Knowing what you know now, is there a date? Again, we don't suggest retirement and doing nothing. We suggest retire and go work on whatever. If it's real estate, just do what you love every day and keep working because it's fun, right? So is the date not retirement where is there a financial independence date where you work only because you want to? Is there a year time
Yeah.
frame? What's that? What are your thoughts?
The end of this year.
The end of
We'll
this
be
year.
set up enough to be able to, if I don't want to work, we'll be ahead of the game financially,
Yep.
where there's enough money coming in where I didn't have to work. But like you said, I have companies set up, and I have real estate's really exciting to me,
I
and
love
that's
real
where
estate.
we're going. We just bought our, I like to say, refresh and resell project, and we're moving forward all the way. But it's what I want to be doing. I
Cool.
wake up, instead of driving to work all sad and, oh, I got to go to work. It's, yeah, we're singing some
No.
songs and having a good time.
Yeah, if you're like my money's making more than I'm going to make today, that's pretty good, right?
That's
So
right.
that's a
That's
good
right.
feeling.
Yep.
That's a good feeling.
Yep.
So how do you see your life changing in the next 24 months because of what you learned in the course so far?
Oh, just the stress alone is just going to be amazing. My wife and I, we adopted our granddaughter 4 years back due to some certain situations,
Sure.
but So we got her set up in a custodial account and taking care of her college funds down the line. And just the stress of money, worrying about money is behind me, it seems like. I'm so excited to see what the next 24 months is gonna come, just because over the last 2 months it's been amazing. It really has. I could not be happier.
Wow. So in 2 months to change your life, you got 24 months. I mean, that's a lot of time to keep learning, right? So, and by the
That's
way, if
right.
people are not familiar with it, we have a video course. It's really inexpensive. You can even make 4 payments. You can kind of learn it. That's for the do-it-yourselfers. That's for like people, hey, I can do this myself. We have a live course. If you ever upgrade, we apply everything you've ever paid. And then our live course is where people can go through it. And then you can go through it as many times in the future with that one. We'll never charge you a dime. You can go through the course 50 times live. We'll never charge you a dime. So we want to make sure that our students get value at every single level. So now, with that in mind, you've gone through the course. Reflect on your experience and maybe the hesitation and going into it. What would you say to a person who is on the fence and they're like, I don't know if this thing is for me. I'm a little bit intimidated. I'm a little bit scared. What would you say to that person?
One of the couple things that you said along the line is, this is not a get rich quick thing. This is, you jump in, you start, you advance in the program with your IQ, with your financial IQ. You trust the process, it works, and don't wait. If you wait, you're going to regret it. That's what I did. I always I waited till I'm 58 to get involved in anything like this. And well, like you said, it wasn't really possible up until a few years ago. Four
Yeah, it's kind of
years.
impossible to do this 4 years ago.
Yep, yep. And it's just, I can't believe how it fell in my lap. By watching Newsmax. it
That's
was
funny
it
watching
was
these.
it
So,
was fantastic. Yep. Don't
yeah.
wait. Especially if you're younger and you start this process now, you'll be 50, where I am just starting at 58. And I wish I would have started when I was 20s and 30s. You're gonna have to pinch a little bit, but boy, the rewards are gonna be amazing. Just jump in and do it.
Awesome. Very cool. Very cool. Well, good, man. Well, awesome, man. It's been a pleasure working with you. I can't wait. Maybe a year from now, we'll just do this again and go, man, where are you now? Right? Like, what are you doing now? And
I
it'll
would
be
love
like,
that.
maybe go on like five more properties and maybe like a waterfront property and chill in there or whatever, using the Augusta code or whatever, or something like that. So
That's
who knows
right.
what, but, anyways, man, thanks for being on our channel today and sharing your story. It's people want to hear it and and again, you started with what, $100, right, in a brokerage account when you started?
Exactly. That was the first deposit.
100
Yep.
bucks.
Hundred
Bam.
bucks.
To
Hundred
learn how to
bucks.
do
Get it
learn how
going.
to learn how to use the same strategy that billionaires use. That's
It'd be
pretty
your
cool.
best $100 ever spent, especially with the course. Can't
Awesome.
go wrong.
All right, man. Anyways, well, no, appreciate it. Thanks for being on the channel today.
Sounds great. Thanks, Mark.